I actually don't think it would be okay for the government to come to you randomly and say, you have to tell us everything that Tommy just said to you. That actually would not be constitutional.
Because there's no suspicion.
Right. You could not be forced to divulge that information. They could not
on what grounds? On what grounds? That there's no, the ground is that you're saying that there's no suspicion.
Yeah.
All right, well, I'm gonna play devil's advocate here, because you said that kind of asking me to divulge information, as the government presumably does to Verizon and AT&T, is indefensible. I'm gonna play devil's advocate here. I'm gonna defense it. Look, Tommy, I run the United States government. I'm James Clapper. I want to make the citizens of the United States as safe as possible. That's my job description. I support Homeland Security. I literally run the National Security Agency. Security is my job. Security is my being. I live and breathe security. I want to make our people secure. Here's how I see a way to make them more secure. I want to keep them and defend them against crimes like murder, on behalf of terrorists. I want to keep them against all sorts of crimes, biological weapons, any kind of someone plotting a Boston Marathon type thing. I want to protect my citizens from that. So here's what I'm going to do. I am going to talk to the people who have control over vast amounts of information in the United States. And I am going to get that information, because the more information I have about what's going on, the more information I'll have about the bad stuff that's going on. When I know some bad stuff's about to happen, maybe I can stop it and I can make the American people more secure. Why would I not take advantage of that opportunity? Why would I not do that? Why is that not in my being? How is that not defensible if I'm making the American people more secure by getting more information about stuff that could harm them?
2 points. One, by that logic, the government should be able to not only know when we send text messages and when we make phone calls, but actually what we're saying.
They can get that. All
right. So let's be clear. Because a lot of people who defend the NSA right now say they don't actually listen to your phone calls. They just know when you're making those phone calls.
Yeah.
And what you're saying is that if we're going to take their logic to the necessary end, what we're really saying is that the government should be able to know what we're saying to everyone at any time. That's point number one. So that's merely a clarification of the logic here.
Yeah.
So what's the problem with that? Well, it could very well be that the government is using it for justifiable means. It could also very well be the case that the government is using it for means that are, or for ends that are totally not justifiable. This is what we saw with COINTELPRO in the 1960s when the U.S. government was cracking down on Martin Luther King and Black Panthers simply for disagreeing with the common hegemonic mantras of racism in the United States.